Hello everyone, Yensid Organist here, and welcome back to, OrgelCraft? Is that how you say it? Oh my goodness, it's been forever. It feels like it has been forever. I don't actually know how long it has been. I just remember the last episode I worked on was back during the musical, and that would have been the end of April. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look and see exactly when the last time I did an episode was. But believe me when I say, my life has been absolutely insanely busy, and normally I get a break after the musical is over. I've had no break this year. It's almost the end of June, and I still haven't had a break. Not quite true. I think things have finally calmed down. But yeah, we are going to talk about that as we build today, because I recently got back from a trip to Disney World, and I have been inspired. I've been inspired to do a lot of things, but there is one building in particular that I would like to build today, and we're going to do a little bit of building together. But first, we need a space. So I want to fill in this lake, this section of lake over here, and then, of course, all of the holes, and level things out. So, I'm going to start by putting a lot of dirt down, and then we'll come back and build. And we are all filled in, just waiting for the grass to grow, of course. And present Yensid is annoyed with past Yensid for leaving this mess here. I know I went through and cleared all the water out at one point, but yeah, just left all the holes. So, that was fun. Anyway, so we are going to be building a, let's see, one of these has the blocks that I want. A building that I saw, as I was riding past Progress City, and I thought the shape of it looked cool, and I thought it would be something that would be fun to recreate in here. And oh look, it's nighttime. And I will put an image of this on screen. It's not a great image that I have on here, but it is this building here. It looks like it's kind of part of a high school complex. I think we are just going to build it as a building and go with that. But yeah, I thought the shape looked really cool, so it kind of inspired me to work on a project here. And I know that I was in the middle of another project, and we will go back to that, but I needed something that I could just dive right in and work on and put together fairly quickly, because I don't have a ton of time to record this episode, and I did want to get it out. So, yeah, so I thought we would just do a little bit of building together, and, yeah, talk about what all I have been up to, because obviously I haven't disappeared, but this series has disappeared, and I want to give a little bit of an explanation as to why that is the case. So, let's fly out here, and trying to decide exactly where I want to put this. I don't want it too close to our city center. Maybe let's go out here a ways. Let's do that, and then, whoa, too many buttons. Too many F buttons. Yeah, I think that should be okay. So, I want to lay out the shape on the ground, and then we'll work on actually getting it built up in the air. So, let's go. Let's see what 25 looks like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it's a question of how wide. Let's fly up in the air and look at this. Let's go a little bit bigger. Let's maybe go another 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, where did I start from? 1? Count from the block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What does that look like? Yeah, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's not in the right place. So let's do that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 3, 1, 2, 3. Break that. Flood that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I missed my quartz block. I'm also no longer sure that quartz is the block that I wanted for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And how does that look? Yeah, I think that looks good. And then we just want to do a curve. I think that I actually want to make this, each of these, one wider. I think it'll give it a little bit more, bulk. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So yeah, so I went back and looked at the last time I did an OrgelCraft episode, and that was April 14th, which would have been the start of Holy Week, which yeah, just led into an absolutely insane period of time. Now I knew that those 3 weeks were going to be busy because I had Holy Week, and it was immediately followed by the 2 weeks leading up to the musical, and those weeks are always tough for me to be able to do any kind of long form, not long form, like edited content. So yeah, so like I knew going in that was going to be a busy time. What I did not expect was what came after, because normally I get through the musical and I get a break. You know, things kind of settle down at the end of the school year, and you know, I start getting back into a summer rhythm, you know, where I have time to actually work on things. Well, that didn't happen. We always have a spring choir concert that follows. But after the musical, 3 days after the musical finished, we had our state choral festival. So, you know, I had to be in school every day preparing for that. And then I had a student who was singing at the All-State Festival, which is, putting it in sports terms, it's kind of the, like, state championship of music, which is really cool. It was quite the achievement for her and for us as a program. It's not an easy thing to get into. And so that was exciting, but that took up a lot of time that week. The following week then was our choir concert, but then every single one of our choirs was performing concerts throughout the community, so we had things that kept going with that. So that was that week. Then we had the week of graduation, which is always a busy week. And then, yeah, and then I led into my organ recital that I do every year. Which, for this particular organ recital, I had to arrange 4 pieces. That there was not sheet music for. So, normally when I do my arrangements, I'm working from pre-existing sheet music. I had no pre-existing sheet music for this. So it was quite the challenge to be able to get all of those pieces transcribed and ready to go. So, something doesn't line up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. There we go. One, two. Yeah, that curve looks good. So 4, 3, 2. Okay. Yeah, so my recital was all about the seasons represented in music. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was using the music from my time at Sandrock as the as kind of the anchor. That's not right. For that, well, there is no sheet music, but I had contacted the composer and asked him about that, and I asked him if he might be willing to share his scores, and he was like, "Well, I recorded all of this on myself in my home studio, so I don't have scores." He's like, "But you're welcome to, transcribe them and do what you want with them." So that was a very nice offer from him, and I was like, okay, but I was also like, he gave me permission. Now I have to do this. So yeah, so a lot of my time went into doing that. Transcribing something by ear is something that I can do, but it's not something that I'm very good at. But I'll tell you what, after a month of doing nothing but transcribing by ear, I've gotten a lot better at it. Okay, I think we have our shape. Yeah, I think this looks nice. So, the next question is the height. How high do we want to put this? And please tell me that's not all of my quartz. Oh, thank goodness. I'm not making the entire building out of quartz, but yeah, so I'm kind of thinking like the height, the top I want to be 11 high. So let's try that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And if that's the top of our building, then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we are 5 in total, yeah, I think that's high enough. Is 5 gonna be thick enough to do any real kind of detailing with? We could do an even number. What if we make it 2 higher? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7's good. Okay. Not gonna be able to reach that now, am I? We got it. Okay. I could use... you know what? It's fine. But yeah, so so my recital was the first Sunday in June. So all of my spare time went into prepping that. And then the week after, we had our members recital for our local chapter of the American Guild of Organists, which I had to once again transcribe a piece by ear for. It was a piece that I had wanted to do for my recital, but did not end up having the time to finish it. So I spent, the week after my recital mostly spent on transcribing that. Yeah, that's right. And then I decided last minute that I was going to take a trip to Disney World this past week. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, Disney announced their closing date for Tom Sawyer Island, which I think is something I have mentioned before, is absolutely my favorite place in Walt Disney World. And I was very sad when I heard they were going to be closing it to do an expansion. So I decided I needed one more trip down there. So I had initially planned on just like a little, 2 or 3 day getaway someplace, closer to home. And I saw that and I was like, nope, going to Disney World. Because my next chance to go is not going to be until sometime in the fall, and I'm not entirely sure when that's going to be. So I was like, yep, this is my chance to go. I'm going to take that. So for first week in June was, I guess June 2nd was my recital. So the first full week of June was prepping for the AGO recital. And then the week after that was getting everything set so that I could actually, be able to go on vacation, but still have all of my stuff done for my various YouTube channels. So there was a lot of practicing and a lot of recording, both on the organ and here for this channel, to be able to go on vacation but keep things flowing, because I didn't want to lose the progress that I had been making. I do think I'm going to leave that as my center for right now. Because I finally kind of gotten in a groove, and with school finishing up, it was, I was finally starting to get into the swing of things for me, and so I didn't want to lose all of that progress by taking a week off. So here I am trying to put together an OrgelCraft episode in about 30 hours. So we're going to see how this is going to go. But there is our framework laid out, and I'm going to get to designing the rest of this. So I've got some blue concrete, and we can do a little of this together. I've got blue concrete, cyan terracotta, and then we're just going to do regular glass panes. But when you look at this, it looks like there is some light blue. And so I was thinking, let's see, and we're doing 7, right? So we can do, let's do 2 thick of this. And then let's do, do we want to do 3? Yeah, I think I don't want to go too crazy with this, so let's maybe just do that, and then the quartz. What if we replace this with the quartz? It feels like too much window. I don't like the quartz on the bottom. This is only gonna be for like the flat facing. I think the rest will probably be quartz, maybe with a little bit of. Actually, maybe instead of the cyan terracotta here, we could do that as an accent on the curves, and then we could just do. It still kind of feels like too much window to me. What if... Okay, I don't need a shovel right now. What if we did cyan terracotta as the edging of it? No, don't like that. And remember when I said, hey, let's make it 6? I think that is actually... I think that's actually what we need to do. There's nothing wrong with using even numbers, right? Yeah, no, definitely blue all the way. I'm not sure about that. I'm wondering if we did... that? Ooh, possibly. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And then I wonder if we replace that with that. Yeah, there we go. That's what we need. And then we can have that as a band around the curved section. Perfect. All right, let me get this done, and I'll see you in a bit. All right, our building shape is in place, so now we need to do the supports. So I have worked out this, because the things that are supporting the building are kind of these arched pillars. Now they're kind of just a half arch, but I like the idea of doing like almost a full circle. So this is the shape that I have come up with, and it should fit. What we need to do now is rotate this up and then rotate it 45 degrees. So we'll see how this goes. And we're actually going to do this from the top down, because I think it will be easier to work down than up, so that we make sure we're in the right place. So yay, building on angles. All right, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're probably... Let's just get the shape first, and then we'll worry about how thick it needs to be. So, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's going to come out by 2, so 1, 2. Oh, I just killed my water source. No! If only there was a place that I could go get a water source. Here we go. Walking like a peasant. And I missed. Of course I did. Can I reach? I cannot. So we fly again. And so then that's going to be... I can drop down there. 1. Okay, and then from there... we're going to come out 1 more. And now I should be able to drop down and do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll go like that. And then that should be there. Take the rest of our tower down. Pick all the stuff up that's washed away. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 should bring me right there. And then let's see how that looks. As a single block, wow, I can talk. As a single block thickness, it does not look very good. It also doesn't look very curvy. So let me fill this in. I think it's too... I think it comes out too far, which is the issue with translating something to a diagonal. So let me play around with this shape and see what I can come up with. And after a little bit of tweaking, we have our supports. Tweaking that I definitely didn't jump into my creative testing world to play with. Now, sometimes it's just a little bit easier to be able to fly around and look at this stuff. But yeah, so we have our support column here. And if we pop up in the air, you can see what that looks like from up above. So now I just need to replicate that on 3 other sides, and then put a roof on this thing, and figure out somehow how we're going to actually get up into the building. Yeah, then we will be done with this build. So yeah, let me get those supports in, let me get a roof on, and maybe a floor, and then we'll see what we have left to do. And we are finished. Now, I'm not going to lie, I think it looks a little bit like one of those walking things from The Incredibles. But yeah, no, I like how it turned out. If we take a look at it from up in the air, got a roof put on with a dome. I think I'd like to come back and do a little bit of detailing to it at some point. I am out of time for stuff like that today. But I did put a little entryway down here, and obviously we're going to terraform under this. I'm not going to leave this as all grass. But yeah, we can pop up into the elevator, come inside, and as you see, nothing done as far as the interior goes. But yeah, but we've got a floor, we've got a ceiling, and we've got a way in and out. So, yeah. So I hope that you like this build. I hope that you are glad that we are back to OrgelCraft. I'm very happy to be back and looking to finally being able to have more time to spend on stuff like this, where we can do interesting, futuristic, robotic builds. But yeah. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you for your patience in the long absence that it has been. I do apologize, but hopefully you've been entertained by the other content on the channel. So thank you all so much for watching. See you real soon.